Hey, what's going on? In this video, I'll be talking about the Leopard A1A1 L44. I'll be highlighting its stats, playstyle, strengths and weaknesses, and rating them on a scale of 1 to 5. No fluff or asking for things today, let's jump right into it. So what is the Leopard A1A1? The Leopard A1A1 L44 is a rank 6 premium 9.0 German medium tank. No armor is best armor on this Leopard with only 70mm of hull armor and 60mm of turret armor. Seriously. This tank will crumble at the first sign of damage anywhere near the crew compartment. There have been a handful of times where I got lucky and I was able to return fire, but this tank is a glass cannon. You must avoid taking damage at all costs. Imagine your left arm is paralyzed and the only way you can defend yourself is by swinging your soggy noodle of an arm at your opponent. In the end, you felt like you were making an impact, but the 4 dead crew members in your Leopard are very disappointed and you are out of tanks. Anyways, the moral of the story is that brawling is frowned upon in the Leopard A1A1. The Leopard A1A1 L44 relies heavily on its ability to snipe over long distances or make long, wide, flanking maneuvers to get the side or rear of the enemy. A decent reverse gear allows you to get out of a bad situation rather quickly, and smoke grenades to cover your retreat. It's not the fastest tank in the game, but it's definitely not the slowest. The Leopard A1A1 has over 800 horsepower and a power-to-weight ratio of 19.3 horsepower per ton. Maxing out at 65 km per hour in drive, you should be looking for nooks and crannies or secret paths to get behind your opponents. Moving on to survivability, as mentioned before, you should avoid taking damage whenever possible. Don't peek if you know you will lose or miss the opportunity. This tank is very squishy, and any round that penetrates your armor could send you back to the tank selection screen. Smoke grenades come in handy if you lose your engine or driver, allowing you to repair in concealment. The entire selling point of this tank is that it gets an 11.0 gun at 9.0. Loaded with DM13 APFS DS rounds, 393mm of pen, and a Heat FS round with 480mm of pen. At 10.0, you will struggle to pen the frontal hull or turret armor of any tanks equipped with NERA elements or ERA armor. 9 degrees of gun depression and 20 degrees of gun elevation means you can confidently attack from over a berm or below indefinitely. Turret traverse speed is barely even worth mentioning at 20 degrees a second. Now that I've told you all about the Leopard A1A1 L44, let's rate it on a scale of 1 to 5. Before we get into it, if this is your first time here, this entire review series is dedicated to helping War Thunder players. I am not currently sponsored or partnered with Gaijin. Every vehicle that I review, I buy out of pocket, so I can help others spend their money more effectively. Please remember to subscribe so I can help you too. Let's start with mobility. Mobility gets a 3.5 out of 5. It's not the fastest tank on the battlefield, and it's certainly not the slowest. The Leopard A1A1 has an okay power-to-weight ratio, but I wouldn't charge into battle with it. Leopard A1A1 also has 2 possible playstyles. Strong suit here is for its mobility is going to be a flanker role. Jumping over to armor, I scored a 2.5 out of 5. This tank has literally no armor. If IFVs and AA vehicles could sneeze on you, they would cause overpressure damage. This tank is not a brawler, and you should be very conscious of the routes you take in battle, as one wrong turn could put you in a very sticky situation. You need to play fairly methodically when advancing in the Leopard A1A1. Knowing your next move before you make it could increase your effective lifespan. Next up, we've got survivability. Survivability is based on 2 conditions. How well does the tank respond to taking damage, and how well does the tank do to avoid taking damage? For this score, we're going to average the armor and mobility scores, which gives us a 3 out of 5. The Leopard A1A1 was built in a time period where speed was meta, and that was translated into War Thunder, reducing armor coverage, reduced overall weight. It's not a fast tank, but it will do what it is asked of, and it will do it well. It can't take a beating, but it can do well to avoid being beat. Moving on from survivability, we've got firepower. Like I mentioned before, the 11.0 gun at 9.0 on this tank is the main selling point. It really doesn't have any special features that the Tech Tree Leopard doesn't already have, aside from a dozer blade and a better heat round. The ability to quickly put rounds down range with pinpoint accuracy is huge. This leads into the recommended playstyle of the Leopard A1A1 L44, which I wholeheartedly believe is a sniper. The only time you're going to struggle to play this role effectively is in a 10.0 up tier. Even at a 9.7 up tier, your 393mm of pen can still deal with even the most fearsome tanks. For this reason, I give firepower a 5 out of 5. Before I tell you my overall score, let me know in the comments what you would rate the Leopard A1A1 L44. I will say my score is drawn down pretty hard by the armor rating, so let's recap and summarize very quickly. This is a fearsome tank that does not have a ridiculously high skill cap that the T-72 AV terms does. A new player could easily pick this tank up, and after a few matches, have a simplified understanding of how to play this tank. If you're an experienced player, you will find enjoyment in how relaxing it is to play this tank, even at top tier. Overall, I give the Leopard A1A1 L44 a 3 out of 5. Since you came here looking for an opinion on whether you should buy the Leopard A1A1, my answer is yes. Before you go, here's a review video for the A1A1's big brother, the Leopard 2 PZBTL, and a video that YouTube thinks you would enjoy watching next. Please remember to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.